Every single day, I speak on calls with entrepreneurs that basically believe they can do everything themselves when it comes to taxes. When we have been to 65 countries, meeting some of the best tax advisors, accountants, government officials in the world, and pretty much just have been studying this topic for the last 4 years, having, of course, experience with customers as well, and realizing what are the things most people fail at. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the major thing people basically are mistakenly wrong on when it comes to thinking, okay, I'm going to do things myself. And realistically, they look at the wrong factors. They look at the outside. They look at the options that basically offer 0% tax, and they think, okay, what is the best option? What is the perfect country? But it just doesn't work that way. It's way more complicated than that. First of all, you want to understand that this is an internal work that you have to start off with. You cannot consider 0% tax or any kind of outcome like this something that is the pure result of an outside work. Kind of the same as if I was telling you you're starting a business and this business basically, is about selling a service. Yes, it takes to work on that service. It takes to essentially develop that offer. But you can first of all look at who you are and what you're good at, work on your mindset, work on how you operate internally. And then whenever this is done, you're going to start to work on the business and you're going to start to actually taking the work. That is the same with taxes. You cannot expect that, a perfect country is the solution to everything. Because the reality is there's no perfect country. There's only a set of countries in the world with different characteristics that are a good fit with a lot of different situations. And you have to understand which fit is best for your situation. Because realistically, it would only take me 15 days to set you up to 0% tax. 15 days to get your residency and tax residency. 15 days to open your company structure. And 15 days to get your bank accounts. And we've done it for multiple clients with setups like Qatar. You start the incorporation, you basically get your company, then you travel to the country. In 3 days, you go do all the operations they ask you to do in the country, and then you obtain your ID, you open your bank accounts, and you're set. 15 days. So why is it that it's so efficient and quick to do, but some people take years to eventually make that move and get their setup? That is because the hardest part of the equation is choosing what of these options is the best for your specific situation, as well as understanding what is that next environment you're going to be spending time in. Maybe you're from Europe, North America, you're from a Western, high tax, bad environment place. You understand there's a better opportunity, but you're not necessarily ready to take a flight and just leave because you don't know where to go. And that is a whole other problem that I see a lot of people also facing, which is that they don't travel enough. They go to the most touristy destinations. They believe that those touristy destinations are essentially places that allow them to, create their base, have a living, but they're mixing everything up. Some destinations are to enjoy and to relax. Some destinations are best for living. You cannot mix them both. And if you do, you're going to end up exactly like the people that move to Bali, the people that move to Phuket. You can create an environment for yourself, but you're not going to be that productive beast that's going to accomplish so much, that's going to grind so much, or you're not going to be surrounded by that ideal environment. And again, don't get me wrong, for some people it can work out well, especially if you're already on top of your game and you already have been in this game for a long time and you think, I like to be in a place where I can slow down a little bit because I'm getting older and I'm, already very successful. But for the people who are just starting to make money and they want to basically do more, they make maybe 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures a month, and they want to get to that next level. That's not the kind of place you want to be in, right? So very important to make that introspection work before you make any sort of action with taxes. Because tomorrow you can open a US LLC, you can open a Dubai company, you can basically get to that point where you can do your setup yourself. But once again, it's not because you have the right weapons in hand that you are a skilled shooter. It's not because you understand that some people are using the best weapons in the market that it will make you a skilled shooter. It takes to know how to actually load the gun, put the bullet in there, and shoot the trigger. pull the trigger and make it work. And then it also takes to basically understand precision. All of these things are essentially things that we help clients on a daily basis with out of our own experience. And it's really important to keep in mind that you can have so many great setups, but they can be terrible setups if they are used in the wrong situation, or if they're used to basically support the wrong kind of business for the wrong kind of country, because the banks don't work a certain way here, they work better in another place, etc., etc. So really important to keep that in mind. And another thing people don't understand is that tax residency is something you can only have one of. You cannot have multiple tax residencies. You can have multiple bank accounts, you can have multiple residencies, you can have multiple companies, but a place where you declare a tax is only one country. So you have to approach this in a way where you understand that you're doing the right thing. And one really good way to put it is to compare this with cars. I know I'm making a lot of images of, metaphors in this video, but I really want you to understand what I'm talking about here. So let's say you want to buy a car. You have a really big budget, right? You can buy so many cars. You can buy so many different cars. You can buy some cars that are going to be more comfortable, some cars that are going to have better performances, some cars that just look more like aerodynamic, some cars that are just more beautiful, some cars that, are better for a family, other cars are better for two people, etc., etc. Now, here's where it gets trickier. Let's say you can only buy one car out of all of these options that exist because you can only have one tax residency. You will think twice before buying this car. You will try to understand what it is that you genuinely like or that you genuinely need before eventually buying this car, because you understand that you can only buy one. So it might as well be the kind of car that supports all of your needs, not just 20% of them. And that is exactly the approach I want you to have when it comes to tax residency. And when it comes to any setup, the only difference is tax residency is only one. Companies, well, you can have multiple companies. You can open one and realize it's not best for you and then open another one. Nobody cares. You make money, you can buy another one. Easy. Tax residency, it's not like that. You can buy one. If you ever think, oh, this is not the right one for me, you have to close it. You have to reopen another one. And I've seen this happening for a lot of people. It's very inconvenient. It's long. It involves high cost. In some cases, it can also involve a lot of administrative work that is very extensible. So you don't want to go down that route because it's going to slow you down. You want to keep efficiency and speed at its prime. And you want to work with a team that understands this for you. Because maybe the car you want to buy is that family car that can support all of your family members and you can have the best time having that best road trip. Or maybe that car is that supercar, hypercar that can only have two-seaters, but you just enjoy performance so much that for you it's what makes most sense. It's the same thing with tax residency. There's so many countries in the world. You don't even have to move there. You don't even have to live there. You can essentially just be there for a certain period of time, then be out. You can, in some cases, not even be one day in a country and still get the tax benefits. The most important is that you leave your country, that you leave ties with your country, that you understand that you have to be away from it, whether it be financially, whether it be with the assets you have, or whether it be in how much time you spend in the country. But the end goal is to be more distant, and basically, after you do that, everything else is easy. You can just decide to choose a country and basically utilize it and basically just travel around if you want to. You're completely free. You can make your own decisions. But if you do set up in the wrong country, whether it be a country where you live or a country where you don't, you will regret it. And it will slow you down, and your business is going to a certain extent to be slowed down as well. Because your mind is not going to be clear. You're not going to have that peace of mind thinking, I'm all good, I can do whatever. You're going to be thinking, oh, how am I going to handle this with the company, with the residency, with the visa, with the renewal? And that is exactly why a lot of people, they get to a certain financial level, they succeed, and then that's it. They basically stop. They stop grinding. Because instead of thinking about how to make more money, they start thinking about how to make sure their money is not going to be taken out, or how to make sure they're not going to pay 30% tax on it. And that's another reason why I don't want to do it yourself. Because you want to focus on what you're good at, and you want to give that part that you're not good at to people who are good at it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this video opened your eyes on this topic, and I hope you understand how this process must look like for you to make the right decision. Whether it be on companies, whether it be on residency, or whether it be on banking, it's all the same. If you guys want to understand a little bit more about this, we have made a complete video about the topic, everything that I basically mentioned, but in a much more extended way, that you can find in the description below. And if you want to have a chat, we also have direct DMs on my IG. I'll also drop the link in the description. Any question, you're more than welcome to send me a DM, and I'll be happy to speak with you about this. I hope you guys crush it, and I'll see you very soon.